Hey everyone, Warwick's here. So we're back with VoicePlay. They released their first video in a couple of months, probably taking a little time off, well earned. They've done a lot of work over the past, really, years. So taking a little time off between releases here. Today we're going to be looking at Classical Chaos. This was released a few days ago as I record. I meant to try and get this out sooner, but I got a new computer. So if things are a little bit different, that's because I'm still figuring out all my settings, trying to figure some things out. My older brother surprised me with this a few weeks ago. He told me that this was happening. He basically got me a new PC. I have a new monitor that I bought for myself as a birthday gift to me. My birthday was at the end of June, so it took some time to spoil myself. So if things aren't completely correct or anything like that, apologies in advance. Anyways, VoicePlay is back doing Classical Chaos. So this is very reminiscent of the set that they did in the Hall of the Mountain King on. This one's featuring Rachel Potter, who has been around a few times for a few different things, most notably for their Moana mix. And I like listening to Rachel. I think she fits really well in the arrangements that VoicePlay does. They clearly have a great friendship together, so I'm very curious to see what she's going to bring to the table versus what they had in the Hall of the Mountain King, who... God, apologies to her. Elizabeth Garozzo, that's who it was. Brought in. So a little bit of a different flavor maybe from Rachel for the rest of this trek through classical music. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. If those of you that are returning veterans of the channel, it's good to see you again. Just a quick version of me. I'm Corey. I go by Warwick on all my social channels because that is my online gaming name. My channel, I cover a lot of, if you look them things, obviously World of Warcraft videos. They've got a new expansion coming soon, so if you're interested in that, you can go check those out. But I also do these videos here. I started them in June of 2022 just as a way to have a creative outlet, and was inspired by Peter Barber of the Bass Gang to do these videos. Kind of take what he was doing, and then I discovered a bunch of other creators and have met a number of cool people in the community as a result. If you've never seen one of my videos, the format for this real quick is that I'm going to go through and I watch it completely through the first time. No pausing, no stopping. You're just going to get my stupid face here in the bottom left corner of your screen, reacting to everything that we see going on. And then I go back and I do a second listen through where I like to kind of pause and analyze and talk about the things that I think are really cool in these settings. I'm not a professional musician. I'm just a guy that really took a lot of music theory classes to be his electives for his history courses in college, and I like to flex those muscles every now and then. I retain a lot of those core concepts over the years. In fact, I'm going to get back to doing my music breakdown series with video game music. That'll be going up on my Patreon, which you can, if you care to support me there, you can. I'm trying to find the energy to get back into making content consistent for Patreon and make the investment worth it. So anyways, guys, let's get right into this video. I'm trying to keep these entrances very short now. We're going to dive right in. Classical Chaos, and make sure my headphones even on. They were, and I'm just dumb. So hang on. Apologies. This is my recording in live. What actually happens. Hang on. Come on. There we go. Let me make sure these are cranked up. They are. Got this turned up. Alright, let's crank this up a little more. So 5 minutes and 20 seconds is probably not going to be quite that long. Oops, this way. As you can see right there. Probably going to be closer to 5 minutes, but let's get into this track. Let's go.
Da 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 bum 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 bum. la la.
Ta-da!
Yeah? Did you know we're selling merchandise?
Really?
Yeah, all you have to do is go to the store.
Hae takole
What's that mean?
means good.
Amazing. Amazing. Well done. As a person that was in high school band, we played a lot of classical music. You run across a lot of these pieces. There's a lot of things that were very, very cool. All right, let's jump to the credits. You guys, if you watch my video, I always do this. So I recognized a lot of these. You probably couldn't name a lot of them, but you definitely know these songs. That's one of the great things about classical music is that the melodies and the rhythms usually stick along a lot longer than anything else. So, of course, Toccata and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach, starting us off. Einklang nach Musik from Mozart, into Habanera from Carmen. Of course, long, super iconic one. I know there's like it's going to date me a little bit. I'm 37, by the way. I just turned 37. So there was an old episode of Hey Arnold from the Nickelodeon show in the 90s that actually did an entire episode dedicated to Carmen in the musical. And it's one of my great favorite episodes of TV, period. Symphony 5, of course, by Beethoven. The Blue Danube Waltz, which is the first one I didn't totally recognize immediately, by Strauss. Dance of the Hours by Ponticelli, I also did not recognize immediately. Of course, Für Elise, iconic, by Beethoven. Those Sparks Zarathustra from Richard Strauss. The Orphy Oxenfers, if I'm pronouncing these poorly, I apologize. From Offenbach, I did not recognize that one. Of course, the Romeo and Juliet Overture from Tchaikovsky, definitely a night there. Night on Bald Mountain, another great one. And then, of course, In the Hall of the Mountain King to end us off from Grieg, iconic, one of my favorite classical pieces of music of all time. So let's check out the credits here. Of course, arrangement and creative direction and editing by Lane. I'm not surprised. Audio mix by Ed Boyer with additional creative direction by Tony Joachim, who's Lane's business partner in Paticate Productions. Rick Underwood and Renee Ferrant did the makeup and prosthetics, as they've done for a long time now for this group. Chris Chili Horton was the camera operator. Follow focus and camera assistant was Andrew Cox. Of course, Kathy Castellucci, Jeff's wife, longtime production manager, with Francesca Buiser as their production assistant, and filmed at Paticate Production Studios. Just overall, like, excellent. Of course, Ellie Jacobson, tenors. He's listed as officially baritone, not baritone tenor, as he's been listed for a long, long time. Jeff is the bass. Lance Time is drums and baritone, featuring the Rachel Potter, who was amazing. So excellent stuff. So that's the end of just the regular video. If you guys are here for just that reaction part, that's the end of the video for you. For those of you that like to stick around and listen to me wax poetic about these pieces, then let's dive right into that. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the set design. Of course, very reminiscent. We're replacing the cauldron from In the Hall of the Mountain King with the music stand and the fire glowing beneath it. We've cut out a lot of the Easter eggs that were in Hall of the Mountain King, things like referencing The Nightmare Before Christmas, things like that. This is a more standard spooky Halloween tree setup with a wonderful light back there acting as the moon. So just excellent stuff on the start here. Love the addition of the birds. All right, I want to take a look. I'm trying to figure out this music because it's not here at the start. Like that is not the Actually, it might be, now that I'm looking at it. I was in percussion, so I never saw this music. So yeah, they actually put the actual sheet music right here at the start with box piece. It was very, very cool.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
I need that note from Jeff. I don't know what it is immediately, but it sounds like he drops into subs for it. I'm getting slightly better identifying chest versus fry versus subs. That's what happens when you listen to a lot of bass and do a lot of Jeff covers too. So if you haven't watched In the Hall of the Mountain King, number one, I recommend you do so, and go check out my reaction to it. I'll throw that up there. So these are the same for everyone except Rachel, of course. These are the same costumes that they wore in the Hall of the Mountain King, where they were brewing potions. Now, obviously, they're getting into conjuring and spells, so they're obviously some sort of supposed to be demonic creatures. And Miss Rachel Potter here, who looks amazing in this costuming, is clearly some sort of master or leader of some sort that they're deferring to. Like, that's the whole thing you get throughout this entire plot idea, basically. So, of course, you know it's not going to be true classical because it's voice play. But I really like the little drum fills that Lane does here. I just love that little mix. Then, of course, we get into this immediate drive section here with box piece. I really like the way that Rachel transitions very cleanly from da 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 And then when we get into our build, she switches to ahs, which is really hard to do cleanly. So the fact that she did it really well and made that climb, very impressive. Really, like, I think it was Ellie that did that here. It's just like something like that. Poorly in my end, sorry about that. But just really love the way that he did that here. Here. Just that gritty into the like that right there was really clean. And of course you can see we're getting our first set of mischievousness from Caesar. Of course it had to be Caesar. Trying to kind of step in and do stuff as they switch pieces. Each character kind of gets their chance to shine, so to speak, with Rachel overseeing everything as the Mad Witch, I'm assuming, of some sort. Right there. Of course, everyone else pointing it out like school children. And Caesar, It's very reminiscent of him being Zero in Oogie Boogie, where he add a little spice. You know, that sort of voice acting type singing that he did there. Another lovely drum fill, and now Jeff's got the book. Oh, that slide. And again, he just, this weird slide up where he hits like this note. It's almost lower on attack and then immediately goes up into a higher note here. Listen to Jeff. Like that right there. Really cool. And the way they transition between the different songs is really, really smart and clever, because a lot of these are in very different keys, they're in different tempos, or different time periods even, and finding a way to transition between all of them without making it seem awkward is really, really smart arranging on Lane's part. Like the transition from the fifth into this love song is like amazing. Listen to it. And what I think they do is on this last note, they actually do a key change there, it sounds like, so that they can transition into the key that this next song is in. Really, really smart arranging that doesn't feel jarring. I love the little character acting moments where all of a sudden Lane has the book and Jeff's completely unaware, and then he looks down and like sees like in his hand that it's missing. Just adds like the fun and the campiness to this video that this video really needs. It's great. Hang on. I know it's somewhat the prosthetics and just somewhat the natural shape of Jeff's face, but his face looks really long here. Like the way he angles it, like right there. His face just looks really long and it's impressive. Again, I know it's a combination of prosthetics and stuff like that. It's just that I saw that in the original viewing and it tickled me, so I just wanted to point it out. Ooh, I love that. They're they just find these little ways to do things that just show off like almost like little tricks that each character can do or each singer can do. Really, really enjoy that from voice play a lot of the times, and forgetting that obviously, like we know the harmonies are going to be there. Like there's nothing in these songs that is going to blow you away from a chord progression standpoint because you're so accustomed to hearing them. And so you're not getting these harmonies that are coming out of nowhere because everyone kind of knows what these songs are supposed to sound like. And so the challenge for Lane, I imagine, was finding a way to make it so that not only did he have to keep the core ideas of all the songs together, but finding ways to create little ways to put that voice play spin on it, where you take a song that's as standard as Beethoven's Fifth or Fior Elise or On Top of Bald Mountain, and finding ways to be creative with it without negatively impacting the core idea that makes it so that you as an arranger want everyone to know, here's the song that we're doing, but here's how we're doing it. And it's really hard to find that line, and he's been walking it finally here. And just another little thing here where this song is very repetitive if you listen to the original version. So Rachel having this little riff almost in the middle of it adds a nice bit of flavor that keeps the song feeling like it's moving forward, while at the same time showing off a little showcase of her talent. We're right there. So love that there again, taking something and making it kind of campy and chaotic. Again, this song is called Chaos, literally in its name, and it achieves that. But I really like that they, like, all the high voices do like this big jump, and I think Jeff joins them too. And then they turn it into the that used to do as kids. And Jeff doesn't join them there. Basically, when they do the jump, he pulls back and then he comes in, but he's at a high bass when he comes back in. So just really like that, again, taking something and the playful noise with their lips that they were doing. It's easy, you saw him doing it visually to kind of indicate how they're making that noise. Transitioning into the next song is really nice. Love the slamming of the book on Ellie's hand there. Just funny stuff. Again, these are all mischief makers, with Jeff kind of being the most calm one. But like Caesar, Ellie, and Lane in particular are like high-level mischief makers, and it's like this is a teacher that's had enough of their shit. If you're in the education field, you probably had those moments where you have those 2 or 3 kids where you're just like, not today, children. I substitute taught for a few years after college, so I get it. So you just have those kids where at some point you're just like, say what again? Say what one more time? Pulp Fiction reference. Really love Lane with the drum fill. I can't even try to do it. It was like a but it sounded almost like he was spitting it out every time. Really cool stuff there. It's great. Here. I love when they take classic music and then drop like this trap dubstep mix into it. It's always really cool. Like, it was one of my favorite things in Hall of the Mountain King. I love that they did it in the Halo cover. I know people that are kind of Halo music purists really hated it. I love it. As someone that loves the original soundtrack and listens to it at work all the time, and also loves VoicePlay's cover, I love when they do it here too, where they added this like trap dubstep mix into it here. It gives a very different tempo feel because we just kind of in a doom 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 type rhythm, and then we get this pullback where you still have this song that has a very big range of motion, but you do it in halftime basically. So you're getting this here. 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So they never change their tempo. Like it doesn't change from that song to the next. Like the beat is still the same. The do 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 do. Like it's almost like a vibe check almost when you do the transition here. It's really, really cool stuff. I love when songs do this where the tempo doesn't change, but you go from there. I'm not able to calculate it real quickly. Let's see if I can figure out the tempo real quick. That's got to be around 120, 125 BPM. Because it feels like it's 2 beats every second. 1,000. Yeah, it's about 120. And then it feels like it cuts in half, but it doesn't. The tempo is actually the same. It's just when they transition here. Before we get into that, because this is the most interesting part of the song in my opinion. So yeah, so you can see they don't change their tempo, they almost change the vibe. And that's something that's really, really cool that I think that they do. Like you saw me clapping along, the tempo doesn't change. It's just, instead of going 16th notes or something like that, you're doing more 8th note, quarter note vibes, and it feels slower, but it's not. It's really, really smart. Let's talk about some other things besides tempo here. I've gone on a rant for that. I love the drum and the rhythm. Do, 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 do. Love that. I also love that they're all doing the white boy bounce, as I like to call it. That's like the white boy way of jamming out, vibing out, having fun. I love that too. I love the effects here with the red, throwing it at now Jeff. See, what I love there is the idea is that he stole Jeff's voice. So that's, first off, what Jeff does right here at the beginning. I don't know if this was distorted sound-wise in the mix or not. Right here. Yeah, so I don't know if that was distorted or not because it's meant to be a spell or not. If that was done mixing-wise or if Jeff did that with his voice. I can't imagine that he did. I think that's post-production, but it's really cool. Then, of course, now he steals Rachel's voice and we get this transition. So it's like really, really fun stuff here. And of course, Caesar doing the shoulder shimmy while he steals Rachel's voice is glorious. I love it. Right there. Giving you the eyes that Caesar can give you. Yeah, I love it. Fucking love it. I adore Caesar. Yeah, so that right there, again, everyone probably knows the build up there. You see it a lot in movies. And I love that somebody did the iconic timpani moment. Boom, 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 boom. Mainly because I did that one year in high school. That was a piece we played. Great stuff. Anyways, so I love that someone did that with, in this case, it was Caesar, and of course the horn and like just all the madness going on about it. Just fantastic. And they transition immediately into the next song. So, I mean, that's really all you need from that one. Let's be real. Also, Rachel giving off like mom is sick of this shit vibes right here. Right here. Like you could just screen. I'm sure this is this needs to be a meme in the Discord somewhere. Like Let's be real. She's completely sick of their shit at this point, and it is hilarious. I love the way that they transition their vocals here. Of course, she gets Caesar and Lane in the background, like almost shaking their necks here, like that. And then Rachel, what Rachel does here is really cool. So it starts off with da, 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 and like obviously looks concerned, like she knows what this is leading to with William. Essentially, what people know is William Tell, or a version of it. But then goes da, 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 la, 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 and transitions into that changing of the sound voice, keeping it interesting to your ears, but keeping the forward momentum. Really, really cool. And then, of course, it gets like her cheeks get looser and looser as she goes, like, you know, when you want to add like what it almost sounds like you're shouting into, like, you know, I've got this my cup of water here. But if you notice talking normally and then talking into this cup, I don't know if you heard that or not. You know, that's kind of the vibe that you're trying to go for. It's because the sound is rounded out and it's basically spiraling when you project it. You can do that with your voice by loosening, making your cheeks very, very loose. You hear it in drum set a lot, and you see it like a very, very good example is the opening drum beat to Cold Below that Lane does, that boom, very, very loose here instead of that boom, where he keeps the cheeks tight. It makes it sound much more crisp. It sounds much more like boomy, almost in a way, where you know, with this keeping his cheeks very loose. She does that here with her laws at the end, and it just really adds this nice tonality to it that again feeds into this idea of chaos. Again, all the vowel sounds that they're using that are changing, and you're just getting this drive, and Jeff is just a walking bass, the doom 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 doom, something like that, where he's just pushing everything forward with him and Lane. Our love potion. Again, Jeff, also me at this moment where he just closes his eyes, shakes his head. That's what I'm doing this whole song. This whole thing is just like ridiculous chaos. Who does that growl? I don't even think my mic picked it up. Not like that. Jeff acting like a dragon. Now Teacher is snapped. And this is where Night Up on Bald Mountain comes through, which is one of my favorite pieces along with Hall of the Mountain King. Also, I love how all of them are scared and Jeff's just like, finally, comeuppance. Can someone spell out what they're saying there? Because it's definitely not English. I think it's Latin of some kind. But if anyone knows the meaning or knows the words behind it, throw it in the comments. I'd like to know. Love the light in her eyes. And again, that distortion almost into like an air guitar moment. Like that right there. Just really, really cool. And then, of course, we get our visual effects here with the podium lighting up. One of the really interesting challenges that I think they face here, and this just kind of made me think about it, is that we know what their Hall of the Mountain King sounds like because they did it. And they did it in like 10 different styles or something like that in that video. Like we heard all sorts of different forms of that song. They had to do something new. Otherwise, it would just be accused of ripping off their previous music. So VoicePlay being VoicePlay finds a way to do that. And they do this in like this almost like... I'm trying to think of the way they describe what I perceive out of this. It's like jazz, but not jazz, if that makes sense. Where there's like a driving, almost like pop style drum bass or an EDM style drum kit, but like the feel of the song is almost jazz-like. Here. Now we're just getting our wall of sound. We're getting these ridiculous harmonies. Like there's a ton going on. I'm missing everything, but I'm just enjoying it. Right there, I love where, again, they do this a lot with Jeff. Country Motion, I think is what it's called, where Caesar, Ellie, and whoever the guest vocalist, in this case Rachel is, will go up, and then Jeff will go down, and they'll end up like 2 to 3 octaves apart, because I think Jeff's doing some nasty sub work here at the bottom end, and I'm not hearing all that well, but I think it's there. Yeah, so he climbs up with them, but then when they get to this note here, he drops like an octave or 2.
Dun.
And of course, we end with done. Just, I love this. This is the exact type of chaos that I like out of VoicePlay sometimes. Again, classical chaos. This speaks right into that form, playing off of their Hall of the Mountain King video, which I thought is fantastic. I still love listening to that song still to this day. I have an hour plus drive to work, so this is a great way for me to spend that time. So really enjoyed this. This was excellent. Thank you, VoicePlay. Thank you, Rachel, for coming along, hanging out with them on this. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. So if you enjoyed my reaction and breakdown of this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It's right there below you. Very easy to do. Takes no time at all. And until the next video, hope you all stay safe. Hope you're enjoying yourself. You're having fun. You keep on listening to some great music. And we'll see you next time.